The last thing she saw was your face, reaching. The meadow split open. A scream, a chariot of fire, a name torn from your throat. Persephone vanished. You were supposed to protect her. Demeter came in silence, and the world began to rot. Some say the gods cursed you. Some say you begged for wings. Either way, you changed, and your voice became a weapon the sea couldn't ignore. You searched, wings raw from wind, eyes burning from salt, voice hoarse from shouting a name no longer answered. The earth offered no clues. The sea, no kindness. You flew over every shore, every inlet, every crooked mountain and lonely cliff, but found nothing. Not her, not even the echo. Your sisters searched too, scattering across sea and sky. Once handmaidens, now scattered feathers and grief, chasing a girl already swallowed by shadow. At first, you called her name, over and over, a prayer that bruised your throat. Then something shifted. It was something else. It just happened. A note slipped between breath and sorrow, and the world listened. Birds dropped from flight, entranced. Wolves stopped howling. Even the waves paused, like they wanted to hear. You perched on a cliff, unsure what had cracked your ribs open that way. And below, a shepherd staggered up the rocks. Eyes glassy, mouth slack. He walked right off the edge. The sea took him. You stopped singing. The wind felt colder after. You didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. And now, you know, your voice has changed. Not just louder, not just beautiful. It calls, it pulls, it takes. The others feel it too. They avoid the land now, even each other, sometimes, afraid of what might happen if their grief gets too loud. You perch in silence, sometimes, but silence doesn't keep the sailors away. Your wings came first, heavy, sharp, too wide for old hulls, feathers edged in shadow, strong enough to cut. Then the talons, not delicate, not dainty, not meant for dancing on grass, meant for perching, meant for holding on, meant for nothing human. You tried walking. You tried returning inland, once. A grove you danced in, a temple where you'd sung before gods. But the priest crossed himself. The dogs barked. The villagers brought torches. And you fled. So you left. To the cliffs. To the rocks. Where storms kiss the earth like punishment, and waves claw at the sky just to feel something back. You settle there. Where no one lives. Where no one visits. Where no one sees. Except the ships. They come. Slow at first, lured by the flowers that still grow where your tears once fell, drawn by the lullabies you hum into the wind without meaning to. You don't want them to crash. You don't ask them to die, but they do, over and over, on reefs like teeth, on rocks sharp as memory. Sailors reaching toward the sound with hope in their eyes and salt in their lungs. You stopped singing once, just to try. The ship broke anyway, so you sing again, not to call them, but to mourn them. To mourn her. You are part of the curse now, a shape grief takes when it has nowhere else to go. At first glance, it's paradise. Wildflowers bloom between jagged stones. Moss curls over ship wood like it's trying to forget. Mist clings to the cliffs in soft veils. Even the sun seems gentler here, golden, slow. But then you look closer. A ribcage, half buried beneath forget-me-nots. The shattered spine of a mast, jutting from the shallows like a grave marker. Bones bleaching in the tide, too smooth to belong to any beast of the sea. You didn't build this place, but it's yours now. Every ship that breaks on your rocks adds to it. Another prayer turned wreckage. Another face turned memory. The sailors call you monsters, but they never see your hands tremble. They never hear the silence that follows your song. How even the wind holds its breath, waiting to see if this time will be different. You sing, and they come. And they die? It's a ritual now. The tide brings them. The rocks claim them. You mourn them. You try singing softer. They crash anyway. You try singing louder. They crash faster. You stop singing. They still come. You scream. They smile. One day, you stop trying. Because grief, repeated enough, starts to sound like fate. And your voice, once a hymn, then a curse, becomes something else entirely, a habit. It starts to change, not your voice, but what they hear. You never meant to promise anything, but they come chasing answers. They hear the name of a wife long dead, the face of a child they never met, a map to the treasure they wasted their life seeking. It was a mirror made of longing, and they kept coming. Not all were desperate. Some were curious. One brought ink and scrolls. They were chasing what it revealed. You never promised secrets. You never swore salvation. One man, a scholar, gaunt and shaking, drifted toward you on a raft no bigger than a table. He just looked up, trembling, and asked, "Tell me why I still miss her." You opened your mouth. You wanted to say, "I don't know. I miss her too." But what came out was a note. And he smiled like it hurt. Then he let go of the raft. That's when you understood. They didn't care what the song cost you. They only cared what it gave them. And your curse? It had value now. You were desire, wrapped in feathers, drenched in salt, selling truths that kill. You feel him before you see him. A different presence. Not desperate, not dazed. Steady, prepared. The ship cuts a clean line through the water. Only one man, bound to the mast. His mouth silent, his ears open. You sing anyway, because that's what you are. You offer everything. Memory, beauty. The song curls across the sea, radiant and terrible. He arches, shakes. Tears stream down his face. But the ship sails on. He heard you, and lived. The wind stills. The waves hesitate. You stop singing. And for the first time, you feel it. The curse cracking. The island has grown quiet. You try. A note. A hum. It catches in your throat. Just a breeze, confused and passing. Your feathers dull. Your talons tremble. The cliffs shed petals instead of bones. The sky doesn't answer anymore. You still perch by the edge. You still wait. But it's not hope that keeps you there, just habit. A sister tries to sing, cracks mid-note. Another stares into the sea like it might offer an apology. But the silence only grows. You remember the prophecy, the one you never believed. The one that said if anyone ever heard your song and survived, your end would begin. And now, your body feels heavy. The magic thins like breath in cold air. One sister throws herself from the rock. The water swallows her gently. When she rises again, she's not a siren, just reef. You're too tired. And one by one, the voices vanish. The song that once ruled the sea fades to a whisper only the wind remembers. You're the last, not the oldest, not the strongest, just the one still here. The cliffs are empty. The sea is quiet. And your voice, what's left of it, tastes like salt and memory. Then one day, a ship appears, barely afloat, splintered, cracked. Its sails hang like tired lungs. And its only crew? A man already drowning in life. And for once, you sing to guide. No promise, no illusion, just mercy, a gentler song, not laced with longing or grief, but a current that nudges the ship towards safety. He never sees you, just feels the wind shift, the tide pull, the rocks spare him, and you smile. Because for once, you didn't destroy, you chose. And as the boat drifts away, so do you. Not into death, into the sea, the sky, the silence. No bones, no feathers, just a ripple, a breeze, a final note that doesn't need to be heard to be real.